to face Chris Robinson, who, you have to say at this stage, may very well be out of the tournament altogether by then. But still time for him to turn it round. If he is going to do it, though, he needs to start pretty quickly against Ralf Souquet. So Carl Boys is alongside me, Michael McMullen, once again for this match. And John Lehman from the United States is our referee.
Ralf Souquet must be feeling pretty happy the way that last match ended against his buddy Albin Ocean. Chris Robinson has it all to do.
Yeah, he looked like he was going 4-2 down, and then Ocean got himself into trouble, hooked himself, and it ended up being 3-all. And then when it looked like it was going 4-all, Ocean scratched, and really it was just a formality for Souquet to finish it out from there. And one of those matches he's probably looking back and thinking, how on earth did I end up winning that? But win it he did. A very good win for him. And we said at the start of the day, Eklund Kachi and Albin Ocean probably the two favourites for this group. Well, Ralf Souquet has now beaten them both as he faces into this match against Chris Robinson, who really has struggled today. Not necessarily with his game, it's not like he's played terribly, but things just haven't fallen his way at the right time, and that's why he finds himself still without a win after 4 matches.
Yeah, cashing mind back to the very first match of the event. Chris Robinson. For Chris Robinson, he was playing Albin Ocean on table 2, and he was 2-0 up, and he must have thought, oh, this is nice. Nice little start. And then now he's on a 0 wins from 4 matches. And he's got the legend of European pool, Ralf Souquet. Chris Robinson to break. Rack 1. It's a useful break. You can see an edge of the one. By no means an easy shot, but he can cut it along into that top right pocket. I think he tried to play a carom, to be fair, and knock the green 6 in, and it's a mistake. Yeah, Ralph, you've just got to be a little bit careful. Sometimes you can hit the one onto the green 6 and pop them both. So he will know that, so in the back of his mind, he'll try and find a shot where, if that does happen, he's also on the blue too.
Huge age differential between these two. Souquet is 52 years of age. Robinson is only 23. In fact, Souquet had already been world champion before Robinson was even born.
That is an incredible stat. Souquet won the World 9-Ball Championships before his opponent was born.
Something about Germans and their longevity. Another one of the great stats in the world of sport in recent months was Bernhard Langer, who was playing in the Masters recently. There was a player in the field who was born in 2003. When Langer played his first major, there was someone in the field who'd been born in 1903. So he played in majors against players born 100 years apart. So the Germans know how to do longevity. And you look at Ralf Souquet and you see the shape he's in at the age of 52. It's really no big mystery as to why he's been around so long. That, of course, and the fact that he's such a very good player.
So he's just stood up, back off the shot there. He's not quite happy. He's just double checking. You'll see Ralph do that many times, just up and down, making sure And he has underhit this shot. And he's underhit it by a long way. He wanted to be another, or at least a foot to 2 feet. Now I think he can still cut this ball in, but it's not ideal. There you see our referee in the background, Mr. John Lehman. So the poor positional shot from Ralf has gifted Chris a great chance now in rack 1.
Yeah, he needs a few gifts, doesn't he? Must feel everything's been going against him today. Comes from California. Part of the United States with a real tradition in this game. The likes of Rodney Morris, Corey Deuel.
Will the Pearl Strickland.
Slightly different personality to Earl, though, to put it mildly.
So this simple 8 and 9, and he'll be on the board.
And Chris Robinson has indeed finished it off, so he leads Ralf Souquet by 1 rack to 0. Been a lot of, don't want to say hype because I feel the expectations are justified, but been a lot of talk about Chris Robinson over the last year or so. It was touch and go whether he'd be picked for the Mosconi Cup team, but he impressed the coaches with his attitude and got himself into it. This is what's happening on the other table. Chris Melling, 2-1 up against Niels Fine. Melling looking to make it 3 wins out of 4, which will put him pretty much on the brink of a place in the semi-finals. Fine's only actually played 2 matches. It's going to be a long night for him.
Yeah, Niels cycles a lot, he runs, he's into the gym, so he's more than well equipped for tonight's play.
Back we go then. Ralf Souquet 1-0 down as he breaks off in the second rack.
Mr. Souquet, yeah, and for the first time, the 9 ball went close then. It went over towards this bottom left pocket. We've not seen one yet. There you see it got kicked over. Of course, if that ball would have gone in the pocket, it would have been game to Ralf. More importantly, it does have a shot, an open shot at the 1 ball. Plays that shot lovely, does Ralf. Just, you know, just a bit of a drag shot type shot, just kills the cue ball. You know, makes what looks like quite a big angle look very easy.
It's levelled up now on the other table. Niels Fine has made it 2-2 against Chris Melling.
Nice speed control again there from Ralf. Now he does have options. After potting this red 3 ball, he has got an easy combo. Just depends how he sees the table, how he wants to play it. If he rolls through up towards the top end of the table, he would have a natural angle. He stunned it in. Is he going to play down this side of the table for the combo? I think he is, because he's just walked round there to check. Needs to avoid the scratch though. He needs to avoid the scratch. And I think he thought he had scratch, so he's a little bit fortunate there. Didn't hit that cue ball exactly how he intended.
Well, he looked like he was almost starting to make his way back to his chair. But this for 1-all. The 5-9 combination. Nicely done. Ralf Souquet then levels it up against Chris Robinson. 1 apiece. What are your thoughts on Robinson as a player, Carl? He hasn't achieved a huge amount yet in the game, but there's a lot of expectation on him, and I think that was reflected in the fact that he was a slightly surprising inclusion in the Mosconi team.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, if you've watched many of the Mosconis, and certainly the previous 2 before Chris was picked, I would have expected maybe Tyler Steyer, but the coaches have obviously watched him play, and I thought he played very well. He looked, it's not just about the obvious things, how well you play on the pool table. It's, how you gel in a team, how well you listen, how well you get on with the players and all this. So that, they've seen something, they picked him. I thought he played great. A little bit unfortunate that there was no crowd, because he didn't really experience the Mosconi in all its glory as such. But, he's a young man, and I'm sure he'll be back, and one day we'll experience 3,000 screaming fans for sure.
Well, it was he who clinched the opening team match for the Americans. He lost a couple of hill finishes in both singles and doubles, but did have a good doubles win with Billy Thorpe against Albin Ocean and Fedor Gorst on the final night. And yeah, I mean, the Americans need someone like that, don't they, coming through, because you look at the European team, of which you, of course, were vice-captain in December. So much youth in there. Fedor Gorst, Eklund Kachi, Joshua Filler. The Americans don't have players like that coming through at the moment, it would seem. So a lot of hopes being pinned on Chris Robinson.
Yeah, in Europe, as you said, there's a lot of young European pool players, and there's many more of the Fillers and the Fedors. I know a friend of mine in America has recently set up like an American youth type tour, and there's a lot of young kids playing over there, but it just seems that the Americans don't really travel as much as the Europeans to all the big majors. We used to go over to the US Open every year. There'd be loads of Europeans go over to it, and also the Derby City Classic, the European players go over there as well. You only ever really had Shane, who travelled around playing in the big majors, and when I was speaking to Chris earlier on today, he said he wanted to come and play in this because he wants to improve, and he wants to play pool all over the world.
Well, it's kind of easy for the Americans really to stay at home, isn't it? Because there's always something going on. There's always a tournament of some sort to play in, but I think you're absolutely right. They need to spread their wings a bit more and realise there are really good events to play in around the world. Now, that has changed a bit in the last few years, but as you say, it needs to change a bit more from the Americans' point of view.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. The way he played in the Mosconi Cup, and how he looks at the table, obviously he can play pool. There's no doubt about it. And for his sake and his fans' sake and his family, I'd like to see him get a win on the board.
Yeah, and if he does, it still gives him a chance of at least getting through to the next group tomorrow. Still got one more match to play after this against Kelly Fisher, and the way she's going at the moment, she might actually have one eye on the semi-finals, because it's entirely possible she could already be through by then. And that can work either way, of course, in terms of how you perform. Does it free you up? Do you maybe lose your focus a bit? Anyway, Robinson really needs to beat Ralf Souquet first. And he should at least win this rack now. Go ahead for the second time.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. He under it the positional shot before, left himself a little thin one, and he can easily butcher them, which he didn't. And he's about to take a lead in this match over the legend.
Left himself a difficult shot on the 7, but as you say, Carl, he managed to negotiate that, and after that, it was never likely he was going to stumble on the 8 and the 9. Chris Robinson then leads for the second time in the match against Ralf Souquet. It's now 2 racks to 1. We're back with more in a moment.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Well, we're heading towards the business end of the round-robin stage in Group 1 of the Predator Championship League. Places in the group semi-finals and, indeed, avoiding relegation from the tournament altogether are issues which are coming very much to the fore now as these players move into the closing stages of their schedule of matches. Chris Robinson still hasn't got a win on the board after 4 matches, but he is leading at the moment by 2 racks to 1 against the German veteran Ralf Souquet, who's got 2 wins from his 4 matches so far and who's going to start us off now in rack 4. Oh, well, that's nice. Why, that's finished up.
Yeah, there you see the wing ball disappearing. Makes another ball up in the corner. And he does have a shot at the 1 ball. Cue ball is next to the 2 ball, so that's the next ball after he pots this. Ralph's just double checking the angle. Probably looks a little bit thinner than what the TV tells you.
May try to develop the 4 ball here a little. Well, whether he did or not, it hasn't moved. But it's okay, it's not too awkwardly placed. Really, you would already say this should be a break and run here. He's well inside the all-time top 10 money winners in pool, well over $1.25 million. He was the leading money winner in the world in 2008. Topped 170,000. That included 60,000 for winning the World 8-Ball Championship. Beat Ronnie Alcano in the final.
Table 2 update, Niels Feijen. He's just about to tie that match up. He's playing Chris Mellon. So that will be 3-3.
And level pegging here now as well, when Souquet completes this break and run. He was 1-0 down, made it 1-1, and having trailed 2-1, he's equalised again. Robinson 2, Souquet 2. Yes, it's Q case. So Ralf Souquet, as we were saying, was a late call-up. He wasn't due to be in the field. Joshua Filler, much younger German, reigning US Open champion, in fact, and a former world champion, was due to be in and would have been one of the absolute standout favourites for the event, but returned a negative COVID test before leaving Germany, along with his wife Pia, who was supposed to travel here with him. But I understand they're both in good spirits and feeling fine. But very disappointed to miss out on this event. Filler was talking at a pre-tournament publicity event online just a few days ago and was speaking in very excited terms about coming to play in this. Well, hopefully he'll make a full and quick recovery in time for all the big events coming up in the next few months. World Cup, World Masters, World Championship, and then US Open title defence and the Mosconi Cup later in the year.
Yeah, Matchroom Sport took pool to new levels. 6 events now they have on the calendar.
Well, when you consider only about 2 or 3 years ago they were doing 3 events, which were great events in themselves, but then they added the US Open. They've taken on the World Championship once again now, and this event has been added as well. And you sense there's a lot more to come in future years.
Yeah, I might have to pull the cue back out, Michael.
I think you'd be worn out playing all those events at your age, Carl.
Wow. That is harsh. Chris Robinson has a tricky little shot here. It's a tricky little pot. And also you can see the blue too. He's kind of hiding behind that green 6. he's going to try and pot this and spin round 3, maybe 4 rails. 1, 2, 3. Finds the gap. He's looking away. He feels
Oh,
like
he's scratched, has he?
Scratch.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unlucky, but, you know, at this level, we have to call it a bad shot. You know, the cue ball shouldn't be going anywhere near that corner pocket.
Yeah, he knew, didn't he? Long before it got there.
Yeah, it's funny, all the years you've played pool, you can play certain shots, and as soon as you've hit the cue ball, you know, you just know in your brain if you've cued it lovely, or, as Chris did there, he knew that cue ball was going to disappear into the pocket. I'm still in shock over that stat. Ralf Souquet won the World 9-Ball Championship before his opponent was born. I think that's awesome.
Well, it's like we were saying earlier, everywhere you look in the story of Ralf Souquet, there are astonishing stats and big numbers. We were saying earlier, the Euro Tour, which is decent events, very hard to win, good fields, a lot of long matches. His first win on that tour came in 1992 in Monte Carlo. A quarter of a century later was his most recent Euro Tour win in Klagenfurt. 21 others in between.
They see Ralf playing that little drag shot again. He loves that shot, does Ralf. One thing Ralf always does is he always likes to walk around the table. No matter how easy the next shot is, he will always have a little walk round and double check the angle.
Surveying his empire.
And that's not his best ever shot, because I think he was playing for this green in the left corner pocket. Now, because of where the brown 7 is, he's going to have a few issues now. Yeah, he's playing it in the right bottom corner past the 9. He's got to try and screw and avoid the middle. Oh, he's played that lovely, to be fair. He's made that look easier than it was.
Needs another good shot now to get on the 8.
This is a classic Ralf Souquet shot. This just plays this so slow, like pocket weight, and just kills the cue ball. Just look at the big angle he's got here. Just plays this with a bit of left spin. Goes in nice and slow. Table 2 update. Niels Fine is on the hill. He's leading that match against Chris Melling 4-3. It's a big match for Niels, that one. As Michael said, he's only played 2 so far.
Well, if he wins, that tightens the group up even more. It leaves Melling with 2 wins out of 4, Fine with 2 wins out of 3. It really is going to be so close over the next few hours for those decisive places. Remember, the top 4 out of 7 go through to the group semi-finals, which follow later this evening, and will in turn be followed by the group final. Will Ralf Souquet be involved? He may well, because he now leads for the first time in this match as he chases his 3rd win from 5 matches in Group 1. Souquet now leads Robinson by 3 racks to 2. I think Robinson's body language as he walked away from the table, not only was it clear that he knew he'd scratched, I think he felt a sense of inevitability about what was to follow. And it wasn't routine for Souquet, it wasn't straightforward for him to see it out from there. But in his usual patient, deliberate manner, he didn't let Robinson back to the table. It's turning into a good day for him. It was a really bad one to start with. He lost his first match 5-0, don't forget, against Chris Melling. It's all got much better since then. Beat Eklund Catchy. He did lose to Kelly Fisher, but it was a hill finish, so in the overall scheme of getting through, getting 4 racks on the board wasn't a bad outcome. And of course he had that magnificent win over Alban Ocean. That's the thing, today he's lost the matches he might have given him more of a chance in, and won the matches that he really wasn't expected to at all. I think he probably would have made him favourite for this one, on the basis of how the two of them have performed today, if nothing else. And he's looking good at the moment. 3-2 up and with the break.
Mr. Souquet to break.
Chris Melling's just missed a relatively easy finish over on table 2 to let Niels at the table, so we'll keep you updated on that one.
Yeah, he's left the 4-ball right in the jaws of the pocket. Fine with a chance to close out a 5-3 win there. Meanwhile, back here, what's Souquet got?
Yeah, it's a good break, did Ralf again. Breaking very good. You can see the 2-ball, that's the lowest ball on the table. Of course, the 1 has disappeared. In 9-ball pool, you always have to shoot at the lowest ball on the table. And this will cut, it is very thin. And at 52 years of age, it's probably not the easiest shot you could take on.
It's thinner than the man himself, and that's really saying something, the shape he's in.
Yeah, I think he's playing off the edge of it the other way, but even this, you still have to hit this shot thin. Using the 9 as a bit of a blocker, a bit of insurance, and just keeping distance, keeping the heat on Chris. Chris was out of his chair looking at a 2-9 combo in the side, so it must be running towards that. I think he'll have a go at this. We've seen him have a couple of goes at these. Oh, well, of course he wouldn't, now I've said it. Cue ball's close.
Sense of deja vu there, perhaps. That was the same pocket he scratched into so decisively in the previous rack. Didn't happen this time, but he has left a chance at the 2.
Yeah, if there's one part of your game that kind of starts to vanish a bit as you get a little bit older, it's probably the long potting aspect of pool. I mean, you can clearly see Ralph's still got very, very, very good cue ball control, and his knowledge is still there, so let's see how he handles a long pot. The good thing here is he can get the cue ball back down to where, let's say, where his chalk is, around there, and there's a bit of insurance in this. So if you do miss it, and miss it he has, and because he's missed it wide, the cue ball didn't go near his chalk.
Looks as though they're about to wrap things up on the other table. Niels Fine is on the 8-ball, leading 4-3 against Chris Melling. So that miss on the 4 from Melling that we were telling you about a few moments ago, looks like it is going to be the decisive blow to him. And that'll leave him with back-to-back defeats after winning his first 2 matches and looking so good. Fine will move on to 2 wins from 3. As I say, busy night in store for him. 3 still to play.
Nice shot there from Chris, long shot, cued it nicely.
Fyan has now finished the job. 5-3 win over Chris Melling on the other table. Well, it wasn't a gimme, that shot, but he played it with the look of a player whose confidence has taken a bit of a battering today.
Yeah, he's not going to be feeling great at the table, is he? He's on 0 from 4. But you've got to dig in, you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not going to qualify for the semi-finals, but he doesn't want to finish bottom, does he?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you stay in, get up tomorrow morning feeling refreshed, go again. Instead of losing early on and getting into a bit of a rut, you might win your first match or two, get some momentum behind you, and the whole thing can look very different. So you've got to keep hanging in there.
Doesn't want to be straight on this 7. I think he's alright. I think he's got a bit of an angle he can manufacture. Yeah, he can play this cue ball. He'll play this with high left and spin it round off 2 rails. I mean, this is not Ralph's first rodeo, so he knows the importance of getting on the hill before your opponent. I just feel like we're seeing a bit of a shift in momentum, Michael, aren't we? Because, you know, Ralph and Niels, they didn't get off to the best of starts, did they? But the kind, as the days gone on, they're just getting really involved in this group now, aren't they?
Well, it's because we were talking earlier about all the young players in Europe now. The old stagers are showing what they can still do. Of course, they play each other later this evening. And Ralf Souquet has made it to the hill first. He now leads Chris Robinson by 4 racks to 2. Souquet's campaign for a place in the semi-finals continues to gather momentum. He'll be on the hill when we return.
Going to the bottom cushion, maybe off the 8. Oh, trick shot by Woodward. What a shot by Evolution.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best bull balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith Ranger of Ball and Q cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Round about lunchtime today, Ralf Souquet cut a fairly disconsolate figure sitting quietly in the players' room after losing his opening match to Chris Melling by 5 racks to 0. But things have turned around for him quite significantly since then. He now leads Chris Robinson 4-2 in this match, and if he wins it, he'll move on to 3 wins out of 5 and will be well placed for a place in the group semi-finals.
Nice break there from Chris, but it doesn't have an easy shot on this one ball.
Yeah, Robinson is the one who cuts a disconsolate figure now, really. We've seen his demeanour dip as the day has gone on. Understandably so, he's lost all of his matches. And the thing is, that would give the impression he's played really badly, and he actually hasn't at all. Just things haven't quite happened for him, particularly at the moments when he's most needed them to.
Over on table 2, Kelly Fisher's just broke off, starting her match against Albin Ocean. That's an interesting little matchup right there.
Yeah, well, Ocean's got a bit of work to do now. Both of those players are on 2 wins, but he's only got 2 more matches to play, whereas Fisher's got 3. And if Ocean was to lose that one, he'd really be under it going into his final match against Niels Fine.
Yeah, this has turned into, needless to say, a must-win match for Chris. If he loses this match, he is out of the tournament.
Well, it's a long way to come to get knocked out on the first day, albeit that he would have played 6 matches. We can at least say that.
Foul, illegal contact.
So Ralph clips the 2 ball and trying to jump over it. That leaves Chris ball in hand. So it's just 1 rack at a time. Win this rack and you're still in this match. And he's not played the first shot too good. He was trying to hit the 3 a lot fuller. And the problem he's got now is he's going to have to send the cue ball around the table and avoid balls to get back up for the red 3.
Yeah, and it's the sort of shot you don't like playing when your confidence is maybe taking a bit of a dip.
Yeah, he's just looking if he can play it off the edge of the 8. If he could do that, it would mean the cue ball doesn't have to travel around the angles. This looks pretty good. Near the corner pocket.
Oh, he's
though.
not scratched, has he? Yeah, he has.
Foul.
And that's really so unfortunate because he'd done really well in every other aspect of that shot.
Yeah, it's been the story of his day. Just little things have gone a little bit difficult and just a little bit of inexperience there, just the speed of the table, and Ralf needs these last 6 balls to get an important win for himself, of course. This will be his 3rd match win out of 5.
Yeah, and if he wins at 5-2, when you consider how many close matches there have been, getting a win with that kind of margin could certainly be significant if it comes down to a countback of racks later this evening, which it may well do to determine places in those semi-finals. He's playing a little bit on a free pass here. I didn't expect to be in this event until a few days ago, and I imagine he's probably taken the attitude of, well, I'll go there and see what happens and regard everything as a bonus. We often see that working a certain way in sport. John Daly in the PGA Championship in '91, Denmark in the European Championship the following summer, Stephen Maguire in Snooker's Tour Championship just last year. Very often when you're in an event that you didn't expect to be part of, it can free you up and you produce your best stuff. It's working for Ralf Souquet at the moment anyway.
So you're saying you fancy Ralf to win the tournament then?
I didn't say that at all, Mr. Boyce.
There you could see Chris in the background, looks a bit dejected. Today has not been a good day for Chris Robinson pool fans.
Yes. I was just going to say, Carl, it's a shame because, you know, he did make a good impact at the Mosconi Cup. People liked his attitude, his demeanour, the way he played. Okay, he didn't quite get the results, but he didn't do too badly. Certainly in comparison to some of the other American players. And he would have wanted to follow up on that here. But it just hasn't happened for him today, and it hasn't happened for him in this match. He did lead early on, twice. And he was ahead at 2 racks to 1. But Ralf Souquet has gradually turned it round. And by winning 4 racks in a row, Souquet completes victory over Chris Robinson by 5 racks to 2. That leaves Souquet on played 5, 1-3, and he is very close now to clinching a place in the semi-finals. So here's what it all means. Look at that. Ralf Souquet, at 52 years of age, is top of the table. 1 match to go. He's got 3 wins. Excellent Catchy, the only other player on 3 wins. He's still got 2 to play. And look how tight it is after that. Ocean, Melling, Fyan, Fisher, all on 2 wins. Chris Robinson, as you can see there, is definitely going to finish bottom of the table now.